Hello everyone, back with another week of NFL football. PrizePicks here. Gonna be giving my 5 top picks of this week for week 13 now. So before I do get into the video, as always, we do have our PrizePicks NFL tool. This is something that I'll look at comparing the consensus column, which are the sportsbook odds, to what the PrizePick lines are. So that actually is going to lead into our first pick, which is going to be Mike White. His passing yards prop, 238.5 right here. So for his passing yards, the consensus column, it shows that it's at 257.5, at minus 125 for the over. So a 19-yard difference is really huge when it comes to any prop, even for passing yards, because the numbers is so big already. But 19 yards, I don't know why it's not been adjusted. It was at this number yesterday, so PrizePicks kind of sleeping right here. Definitely a good one to take the over with that type of edge there that we get. And in terms of like why I still like the over, even if we didn't know about that number, so he threw for 315 passing yards last week, and that was a game where the Jets beat the Bears 31-10. He only threw it 28 times, 22 completions, which it's pretty efficient that we can't really expect it to happen again. But of course, that can be negated by the volume. I would expect him to throw over close to like 35 passes, because the matchup they're against the Vikings, they are the favorites here for this game. They are 3-point favorites. So the Jets, they're 3-point road dogs. And this Vikings secondary, we've been attacking this all season now because they're just so banged up. They're hurt. And because they're hurt, they're trotting out guys that just aren't starter level. And that's why they're just not good at stopping receiving or wide receivers, tight ends, or any type of receivers. So that's something that just also, when you look at the matchup and then the odds, both of them do fit together really well. So Mike White, the first pick. And then this actually just correlates right in with Corey Davis, 2.5 receptions, taking the over on Corey Davis. 2.5. His odds are at minus 145 for the over here. It's the same thing. We're attacking the Vikings secondary. If the Jets are going to have to throw a lot, it's going to be Garrett Wilson as the number one option. But Corey Davis, he is back. He missed a lot of weeks since week 8. And then the first week back last time, he played 68% of the snaps. So that's a pretty good start. You expect him to maybe play like 80% at least this week. And Elijah Moore, that was supposed to be kind of a main guy, I would say, for the Jets, but there's just been reluctance and some problems there, so they're not really playing him that much, and it's allowed Corey Davis to just soak up a lot more playing time. So with this matchup, obviously just against the Vikings, once again, behind Garrett Wilson, like Wilson, sure, he's going to get more targets, more receptions, most likely. But Corey Davis, 2.5, it definitely seems like he's going to get at least 3 catches here. Odds back it up, matchup, all of that. So that's going to be the second pick. And then the third one, we're actually going to the other side with Adam Thielen. Under 11 fantasy score. Under for Thielen because of, one, it is the game script. It's going to be a negative for the Vikings receivers because they're projected to be up. It's only 3 points, so I wouldn't say like it's the end of the world. But when you also look at the matchup against the Jets on the year, they're a very good team when it comes to defending the pass. And the Jets, they have allowed the third fewest fantasy points to wide receivers, and that includes allowing the least amount of receiving yards in the entire NFL. And then for touchdowns, they've only allowed 9. So Thielen, he's not really a touchdown guy. His odds, not good. Jefferson, the main dog, and TJ Hawkinson, since acquiring TJ, he's been the number 2. So Thielen's really been the number 3 receiving game option, and then Dalvin Cook is always there. So, arguably he could be number 4 even. And when they're projected, the Vikings are to be playing with the lead, there's just no reason to be throwing it with Dalvin Cook running the ball, Madison. So when they're playing at home, I do have some confidence that the Vikings are going to be able to beat the Jets. So Thielen under 11, I still like this play. It was actually at 10 on underdog with the half PPR scoring, so it'd be better there, but underdog didn't bump it. But still, over here on PrizePicks, I do like the under 11. And then the fourth pick, it is going to be Treylon Burks. 42.5 receiving yards, taking the over for Burks here against the Eagles. The Eagles, they do have a good secondary, but Treylon Burks, since returning from that toe injury, he's lining up all over the field. He'll play out wide, he'll play in the slot, and that just allows them to get more favorable matchups because they're not always going to be facing the same corner. And this matchup against the Eagles, the Titans, of course, they have Derrick Henry, but they probably are going to be down, so they're not going to be able to just constantly run the ball with Henry. And if that forces them to pass, then Burks definitely going to be in line for a good amount of routes ran and then also targets. For Burks, his snaps continue to increase. They are 4.5 road dogs, so they're going to be throwing most likely, and that's going to obviously help Burks for his situation. And his line right now on DK is at 46.5, so we do get a 4-yard discount here. And yeah, I like the matchup. I don't think it's as tough as it sounds to be when you look at Philadelphia. And because of the game script, it's going to be good for him, again, just because of the passing. So if Tannehill's going to have to throw the ball, they can't just run it 30 times with Derrick Henry, then yeah, Burks, rookie, but he's definitely carving out himself a very good role here. So I like this one. And then the last and final pick, it is going to be Trevor Lawrence. If you look at, I want to show you this first. So 18 fantasy score, and his passing touchdowns is at 1.5. So the prop that we are taking is the passing touchdowns over at 1.5. So that's going to make all of our props overs except the Thielen fantasy score one under. So for Lawrence at 1.5, I don't see how he gets the 18 fantasy score if he doesn't throw 2 passing touchdowns. He's not, that talented of a runner. Like, he's not going to, he could go for a rushing touchdown, but unlikely, right? And then you look at the matchup against the Lions. The Jaguars, they're somehow 1-point road dogs against the Lions. And, it's a 50.5 total. So that's actually the second highest on the slate, only behind the Chiefs and the Bengals. That obviously has shootout written all over it. But this one, it is very close to that. And because of this fantasy score, at 18, you need to be taking the passing touchdowns. Don't touch that 18 fantasy score if you want. If you're thinking about taking that, because again, I don't think he's hitting 18 if he doesn't throw 2 passing touchdowns. So this is going to be the play, 1.5 over for the passing touchdowns. And when we do get into the matchup, so Detroit, they do play well when they're at home, and they are going to be at home. So that hopefully forces the Jaguars to at least be in a close game. They're projected to actually lose here. So if that's the case, then they're going to have to throw. They can't just run it with Etienne. And Etienne is going to be in, so that will give Trevor Lawrence his full complement of weapons. He's going to have Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram. So that's very good for his passing options. And then the matchup, Detroit, they allow 11 passing touchdowns to our receivers, which is 11th, actually, in terms of the league. And then for tight ends, that's going to be Evan Ingram. The Lions, they've allowed 7 passing touchdowns to tight ends, which is the 3rd most. So in terms of touchdowns allowed, that's what we're trying to look at here. Yeah, it is a good matchup. And we look at all over the game script, the touchdowns allowed, it all fits with Lawrence. And his odds are actually minus 140. Now it's at minus 125, but that's probably due to Etienne being in. So they're thinking maybe Etienne can take a rushing touchdown away from the Jaguars, the passing game. So I still like it though at minus 125. And this is going to be the 5th and final prop for this week. So to recap, that's going to be Mike White over 238.5 passing yards. Corey Davis over 2.5 receptions. Kind of a little correlation, but because it's just receptions, not yards, you don't have to force it to play together. And a Thielen on the other side under 11 fantasy score. And then Treylon Burks over 42.5 receiving yards. And Trevor Lawrence over 1.5 passing touchdowns. So that is going to be the 5 for this week. And there are going to be more props, I'm sure, that they're going to put up, like the targets. Hopefully they put those up, and just some other ones that they usually do put on the board later on. But all of those, if you're interested, you're going to have to be a member. Join our DFS Army Discord, which is where I post all the picks. I posted a lot of these, more than just the 5, obviously, for our members. So that's where you're going to have to go if you are interested. And we do have a free offer if you're new to PrizePicks. So that's going to be on our website. If you are interested, please do check that out. But thank you guys for watching. Got another week of football. Hopefully we do make some money. And thank you guys again. And I will see you in the next video.